watching Arts 101. Right now I'm here with the Slime Girls from San Jose, California. How's it going, guys?
Good, good. Thank you.
Doing great.
Awesome. Well, we're going to just jump in the interview here. So let's start off by asking, how did you guys meet?
This is my brother, Miguel, Slime 3.
Slime 3, yeah.
So yeah, I met him at a very young age. It was weird.
It was an arranged meeting.
Yeah, it was an arranged meeting.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was weird. Arranged siblings. It's kind of like arranged marriage,
Yeah.
but
Who's older?
he's older.
Okay, so you met him first.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Yeah.
He was introduced
I
to
don't
me. I
know.
should
Oh,
be
okay.
able to talk.
Okay.
Doesn't even remember.
Yeah, I know. I just you remember
But so we all play in another band, and the other band I play keyboards, he plays guitar, and then Mike here.
I played in another band with them, and I actually met them through two mutual friends.
Yeah, actually, that's right.
One of them being another drummer that they play in another band with.
But yeah, so we sort of just. That's a separate question.
Okay, it's fine. And what was the other band name?
It's called The Joan Wilder.
Okay.
We're Gilroy based. We're usually around here.
And what? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was to say that sticker that you saw on my guitar.
The super
yeah.
cool
It's actually not-
mustachioed
Yeah,
skull.
that's actually not a Slime Girls thing.
And on his bass drum.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you're forgiven if you thought that was our logo,
Yeah.
which really is not.
Cool.
You know,
Alright. I like
these tough economic times, you got to share equipment. between
Yeah, it's
bands,
true.
You know.
Yes, sir.
But
Cool.
yeah, so yeah, we're The Joan Wilder. We play like ska and stuff. Ska, reggae, rock steady. But yeah, so that's cool. That's how we all met. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's great. You guys sounded great today.
Thanks.
You know.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah. How would you describe the genre?
What it is it's called chiptune, and to me, basically what that is that you're making music with old electronics that were never meant to be used to make music with. So for example, I use a Nintendo Game Boy, and I write all the music on that. And you know, that was, you know, you're supposed to play games on that, but you know, chiptune is repurposing old hardware. Some people use like, you know, old Casios, and they like bend the circuits and make weird sounds it was never intended for. Some people program cards for like a regular Nintendo or Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, like speaking spells, like things like that, and then, you know, they make music with them. So for me, my weapon of choice is a Game Boy.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of chiptune scenes like kind of all over the world, mostly on the East Coast, in New York, and in like Japan. But yeah, West Coast chiptune is kind of coming up. There's a lot of good artists. Us, for example, and then
We're the best.
we're the
Go
best.
for it.
Yeah,
But no,
when it comes to West Coast.
yeah,
East
West
Coast,
Coast.
West Coast thing.
There's a big rivalry.
Yeah.
No, but
Throw it up.
no, but
West
there's
Coast.
a yeah,
That's right.
West Coast for sure. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, there's a lot of good acts here. Crash Faster, for example, is a really good act up in San Francisco, and Matthew Joseph Payne. So it's coming together finally on the West Coast. But yeah, and then so what we do, is we take that chiptune aspect, which normally a lot of artists kind of make like dance music with it, like very electronic based music. But I wanted to do something different, so I took that and then, you know, added guitars and drums, and we basically kind of play a mixture of like punk rock and ska and surf with heavy electronic influences. So I mean, it's interesting.
If you Wikipedia it, Kesha, I believe, is credited with doing like the first chiptune stuff.
Yeah?
So there's
What?
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You're
has
right.
like a Game Boy in
Oh.
it or something.
No.
Wow.
No.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
No.
So
No,
don't believe
that's
everything you read on
not true.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
I'm learning new things every day here.
We're blowing your mind. This is crazy. I know.
Absolutely blowing my mind
You
right
just made
now.
that up right now.
No, I swear if you look it up.
No, it's
Okay, well, along
It'll be
those
corrected
lines,
tonight.
yeah.
along those lines, I
Yes.
mean, you know,
Yes.
I'm a huge Kesha fan, obviously.
Right.
But,
Oh, yeah.
what are some artists that influence you guys as musicians besides Kesha? 'Cause that's
Besides
just
Kesha.
obvious now.
Yeah.
Start.
So obviously I'll go with the cliche Beatles. I mean, I'm sure everyone says that you've ever asked that question, but it's
I mean,
true.
It's true.
It's true. They were awesome. Bad Religion is one of my favorite bands of all time. And in this band, I'm playing a lot of like punk, heavy riffs. So Bad Religion for sure. Their sound, their style, everything. And then I can't escape third wave ska still to this day. So a lot of Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, and even newer like Streetlight Manifesto was amazing. But all those fast, upbeat rhythm stuff that comes into play too.
Great.
I consider myself pretty open-minded. I dig, I mean, So I was open to the whole chiptune experience, and I was kind of new to it when PD asked me to play in the band. But I'm a fan of anything with genuine emotion behind it, you know. That and drumming-wise, I mean, local legend Danny Garcia would be my biggest influence.
Awesome. Yeah, for me, I think when it comes to music, especially Slime Girls, there's a lot of things like I draw inspiration from. Like for example, musically, my biggest two influences I would say besides Beatles is this band called Bomb the Music Industry, which is just fantastic songwriting and just everything they do. It's what I aspire to do. And also the Flaming Lips, who are just very, very creative with everything they do, and that reflects a lot on what I try to do as far as like how the songs sound tonally, just overall. But then, I mean, I like to think that there's a strong aesthetic value to all music. Like you should at least you should try to have an aesthetic value to your music. And so, I mean, there's that aspect too. But then as far as like production and just overall style, things like that, a lot of Japanese electronic artists, lately especially, I've been really inspired by, like Perfume, and yeah, that's the biggest one.
Samples of Perfume, or
yes,
The kind you have to scratch.
like so you get a bunch of magazines and
yeah,
Japanese Perfume.
yeah,
song.
song done. That's exactly it.
Cool.
Yes.
That's awesome.
You hit the
I'm
nail
learning new
right
things
on
too.
the head. Yeah,
This is great.
but yeah.
The Japanese band Perfume. Is
Yes,
that what
yeah.
you're talking?
They're
Sorry.
they're a
Are
three
you
piece.
trying to-
They're a 3-piece electronic like electro band.
Stone Cold Dum Dum.
Sorry.
Stone Cold Dum
Should look up more.
Dum. No, yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of like there's a genre called Shibuya Kei, and there's just a lot of really creative acts out of there. And lately, in the past year, have been really, really inspiring to me.
That's great. Wow. Well, you guys are in good company. I mean, Really Fish, Bad Religion, and yeah, I think you mentioned Streetlight Manifesto as well.
yeah,
Yes.
Streetlight's
Also,
great. Streetlight's a huge influence on me too.
And Weezer. I can't forget Weezer.
Oh, yeah.
I always forget
Yeah.
to say Weezer, but Weezer. And
Yeah.
Super Drag.
Super drag.
#1 Super Drag fan.
Cool.
The only super.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Okay. Well, great. Thank you for that. So you guys have an EP out right now, and do you guys want to talk about it a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. This band. I started writing songs when I got a hold of the program LSDJ, which is what I used to write music on the Game Boy.
LSDJ. Good
Yeah,
name.
a
Okay.
little sound DJ. And but yeah, so I got that about a year ago, and I had been writing songs, and then that finally all came to fruition in about June of this year, 2012. And on June 1st, I released the EP called Vacation Wasteland, which is available on Bandcamp for pay what you want, so $0 or hopefully more. But that's
$1 million,
yeah, $1
maybe.
million.
Yeah, if you
If you can just
want.
go to slimegirls.bandcamp.com
Mark Zuckerberg, if he's watching.
and donate $100 to $1 million, that's the ideal range.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, that'd be cool. But no, so I started writing those songs, and pretty much all the recording for the EP was done in about a week, right before our very first show, the day after I released the EP on June 1st. Our first show was with the Mini Bosses at the Santa Cruz Atrium. It was an amazing show. Yeah, so basically I recorded everything myself in my room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm not featured on the EP.
Yeah,
I was
he
a late
actually-
addition to the
He
band.
was a late
Oh,
addition to the
okay.
band.
Yeah.
So all the guitars I do myself, and then I had Mike here record drums on most of the tracks for the EP. It's a 10-track EP, which is kind of
Wow.
big for an EP.
Yeah.
We pump out the jams.
Put my jams. Yeah. So that was interesting. I mean, it's a lot of fun to record and do everything by yourself, like with no outside help. Because you get a lot of freedom with it, but also I don't even know what I'm doing. But
Yeah. Learning process.
yeah, it came out pretty good. I mean, I can make it way better now, even just in the short span of, like 5 months since it's come out. I know I could do a way better job, but it was a good learning experience, and I'm pretty pleased with how it came out, and apparently so is everyone else because they're buying it and stuff, so
Oh, great.
that's weird. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We have another release coming out in the near future on the very, very always awesome net label called Zoom Lens, which everyone should go check out, which is great label, a lot of good artists. But yeah.
Cool. And say the EP name one more time of the previous one.
It's called Vacation Wasteland.
Vacation Wasteland on Bandcamp.com and search for
Yeah,
Slime Girls. Cool. Thank you for that. That's awesome. So, okay, well, do you guys have any shows coming up at all?
Yeah, we, let's see, oh yeah, for sure. In Mountain View on New Year's Eve, we'll be playing a big punk rock fest with a lot of good bands. Pterodon, I believe Lear is playing, and Kill the Bats is a good band name, a good band.
Good band name.
Yeah. After that, yeah, we have a show coming up with the Blank Club. It's a free show on Wednesday
This is kind of news to me.
Wednesday the next.
Wednesday the next.
Yeah.
No, it's right in the middle of January. Free show at the Blank Club, 21 and over. That's gonna be good.
And where's the Blank Club at?
San Jose.
Okay.
San Jose, downtown San Jose. And then we'll also be playing in Santa Cruz at the Crate Place on, I believe, the 18th, the following Friday in January. It's gonna be a pretty good show. But yeah, I mean, as always, if anyone's actually interested, they can go check out our tour dates and show dates on our website at Bandcamp. They're always there. But yeah, we're keeping pretty busy, so plenty of shows in the future.
We should be doing a tour, a short tour.
Yeah, actually, yeah, a tour is in the works.
Oh, great.
You didn't hear it here, but you obviously did. But
We'll fix that in post.
we'll fix
don't
that in post. No, but yeah, we'll hopefully be hitting. Well, for sure, we're going to be playing down in LA at a chiptune event called Frequency. It's a 2-day festival. I think there's like 18 bands, and they're all chiptunes. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's The Smell.
January.
Martin Luther King. Is
Yeah,
that
that
January?
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah,
January.
that holiday weekend down in LA. That's a lot of fun. And then hopefully we'll be hitting San Diego, San Francisco, for sure Sacramento, and hopefully Seattle and Portland. But yeah, again, all those dates will be revealed later.
Okay, great. Awesome. Well, you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves one more time? And
Yeah, sure. My name is Pedro, and I play guitar and write all the music.
I'm Mike Watley. I play drums.
And Miguel and I played guitar.
And those are the Slime Girls from San Jose, California. Check out their Bandcamp. Just search for Slime Girls and catch them on tour in the next year. My name is Greg Goodwin, and you just watched Arts 101 with the Slime Girls.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Pedro Silva. I write music for the Nintendo Game Boy. I play guitar. This is Miguel Silva. He plays rhythm guitar. This is Mike Watley on the drums. The song is called Splash Nebula. We're Slime Girls. Thank you very much. This next song is called Spring Break 1990X. Thank you very much. We're Slime Girls.
Hi there, this is James Duesenberg and with the Arts 101, and we are going to interview a really great artist. Her name is Ann Tierman. She is a person who does lots of murals and pastels, and just let's take a look and see what she says about painting electrical boxes at traffic signals.
Hi, I'm Ann Tierman, and I'm here with James in one of my studio areas. And it's a nice rainy morning, and I am happy to be sharing some of the mural work that I do. I also thoroughly enjoy being a church organist and active with the church community of Christ Lutheran. I teach at Cabrillo College, and it's close to the gym, so you'll often find me swimming. I don't have any kids, but I have a cat that assumes I'm her mother, and I hope that you enjoy this interview. I thought when I first started being interested in art that doing portraits was what it was all about. But I soon found that there were plenty of other artists to be inspired from, and I've been inspired by classical painters, everyone from Caravaggio and Rembrandt to contemporary artists, cityscapes, Wayne Thiebaud. I've been particularly keen on finding regional painters that I enjoy. William Wendt painted a lot of California, and I have been recently collecting a series of repertoire of organ music that is all from California Southwest composers and joining it with imagery in concerts. So who it inspires me depends upon which year and what area of my art that I'm trying to expand. If I'm working with portraiture, I have many books from different artists in my library from different periods. I would consider myself a classically trained figurative and landscape painter. And I was inspired to follow that path after having had a serious background in classical music. So I wanted to have the same foundational skills, and so I sought out some of the more conservative people in the country, in New York and in California, to study with. Working on traffic boxes has been part of my journey as a muralist, and I have done several murals for the state parks throughout the county. Several state parks, Seacliff, Santa Cruz Natural History Museum, the Museum of Art and History, Butno State Park, Toro Park. So I became part of the Artist Registry of Santa Cruz, and I received information that traffic boxes were being painted and being commissioned through the Santa Cruz County Parks. And the first proposal in 2010 came, and I went around and I looked at the possible boxes that were available, and I found one that was surrounded by weeds and kind of tucked away from the road a little bit at Rodeo Gulch in Soquel. And I thought, oh, I could see delightful sunflowers blooming through these weeds. And so I focused on the different stages of growth in sunflowers. And I was being inspired at that time by the community garden at Christ Lutheran Church, where I work, where there was all these amazing sunflowers. Ultimately, that particular site got clear. There were no longer weeds. It's actually very cultivated, and the sunflowers have a nice beckoning, friendly feeling all year round. When the opportunity to paint another traffic box came up closer to home in Aptos, where I've lived for the last 20 years, I thought, well, gee, I would enjoy going by imagery that I particularly like, since I drive past the two that I'm working on right now. So I proposed to do two near the Safeway complex in State Park that involved giving back or nurturing the earth, and involves 3 children who all have work in plots at this Aptos Community Garden. So those were the themes, and the process of doing these projects involves submitting a visual and a written proposal, being reviewed, and then I'm not sure how many artists apply and how many are actually selected, but I've been selected to do 3. So those are some of the things. And then when I get to the last box, which is going into Safeway, I have done a lot of pastel work on location. I love getting out and painting around the county. It's one of the most beautiful places to paint. And so one of the painting, the background of the one going into Safeway is a farm scene, and it's directly from one of my pastels from fields in Watsonville. So often the murals are evolved from a pastel that goes into a larger painting.